and they were most likely to settle the matter by the sword. To put in modern American terms, they were the kind who shot first and asked questions later, the Hatfield and McCoys. Genesis 49, 5-7 prophesies that impulsive wrathfulness leading to violence were characteristic of both Simeon and Levi through all millennia up to and including the latter days. So in the episode of Phinehas the Levite unilaterally executing a Simeonite, there was no judgment done. It was just, he's doing it to kill him. The two most violent tribes were likely at loggerheads, and a civil war among the tribes was not improbable. God usefully directed the Levites' propensity to violence into becoming a tribe of butchers, killing, cutting up, and sacrificing innumerable animals under the system of animal sacrifices. Simeon had no such outlet, so he had to go. So I believe that Simeon, who disappeared about this time, showed up in Sparta or Argos at this exact time. What's that?
It's a giant bug.
It's called the turtle. It's a defense mechanism.
So the book 300,
300 Spartans.
that was a recent novel that the movie where it was where it was made into a movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
This
And
was
did you read that book?
I watched the movie.
Okay.
The 300.
How about the movie The Kingdom of Heaven?
Don't know that one.
Okay. I was given it a few years ago, watched it once. Sure it ties into all this stuff, but I'll have to watch it again.
It's called
King.
So
Okay.
the author of that book, he agreed also with what you're saying. The author is
Probably
just,
doesn't know. He's just giving
is
me
he a
his
historian or was it just like a fun novel?
He's given it, well, this is a national true story. The 300 is a national true story. They go to this mountain pass. They defend it for a long time against the Persian Empire, which is coming through. They stopped the Persian Empire there. Eventually, they were finally all killed, but there were so many Persians killed before that the Persians just stopped and turned away. It's a true story.
And the Spartans, who were the Simeons and the Levites, probably.
Well, the Spartans were the Simeonites, and some of the tribe of Judah went with them, some of the tribe of Ephraim went with them.
Yeah.
So
That's why you have the pocketing
you have
the
it
reduction in some of the
in the number.
tribes.
But they show up in Sparta or in Argos at the same time. That's amazing. They disappear from Bible history, and you look in ancient history, and there's this group of people showing up in the scene out of nowhere. And they got this propensity for military might. You know? Anyway, let's see, what else I got here? Okay. Won't get into all that. My notes here are just,
Keg.
they're just long.
Oh. This one? This one. Thank you.
So we have this scripture in John. You shall seek me and not find me, and where I am, you cannot come. So what did the Jews say? So here's their thinking. Okay? Then the Jews said amongst themselves, where is he about to go that we shall not find him? Is he about to go to the dispersion of the Greeks? What does that mean? And teach the Greeks. Why would they say that? Because they knew that the Greeks were the ancient Israelites. Do you see that now? It's not that they're going to go teach him unto Gentiles. They're going to go teach, he's going to go teach the 10 laws. He said, I've not come.
The lost time, come to cut for the lost.
But I've only come but for the lost house of Israel, not the tribe of Judah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, where's he going? Is he going to go teach the Greeks now? Because that's where the 10 tribes are, or some of them. Just see how Scripture's coming alive here now?
Yeah.
I could have had a VA, but this is so much better. Okay?
They even use the word dispersion.
Yes.
Dispersion among the Greeks, yeah.
Isn't that strange? Why would the Greeks be dispersed? Well, they weren't dispersed. They're all Greeks. No, they are dispersed. They are Israelites. They dispersed before the Exodus, and then they dispersed after that. And then they dispersed because of this Phinehas thing. But we know our history because that's only like, what, 600? Oh, no, by then it's 1,000 years old then. And we don't even know our history here in Canada for the last 300 years.
It's pathetic.
Yeah,
This may be way off course, but is that one of the reasons why the New Testament is written in Greek?
Yes.
good point. Don't know, could be, why not? But hang on. The Greek became the dominant language throughout the world at that time because of Alexander the Great. So that's how that language, it's like English today around the world, right? That's not necessarily why, but it could be why. I'm not going to say no to that. So where the Danai went from Greece, that's what I'm talking about now. Doric is a dialect and a local lingo spoken here in northeastern Scotland, especially around Aberdeen City in the county of Aberdeenshire.
Doorknock.
Doorknock?
Doorknock.
Doorknob.
Yeah, we were.
Right below Wick, doorknock.
Where? I don't see. Doorknock.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but there,
It's all yeah.
Right.
Above it.
That's where we kept Shavuot.
yeah.
Okay, so now we're talking, I'm talking now about the
What's the
Danai
name of that retreat?
in Greece. And the Danai in Greece spoke a certain language, and one of the languages that they spoke, the slang of it was called Doric. Okay? Doric, D-O-R-I-C. The name of Dan is an important one in ancient Greece, the leader of one of the first groups. See, I've got different notes here at different times, we already covered some of it. Was the Danis. And the northern part of Greece is still called Macedonia. Further, ancient Ireland was partly settled by a people called the Danans, who came from Greece. And it is interesting to note that Scotland was also ancient called Caledonia, after the D-O-N, that there's also a connection between the Caledonia and the Greeks is evidenced by the fact that the people of one of the three tribes of ancient Greece were called Dorics, and the Dorics dialect was harsh, and that of the people in some parts of Scotland still speak dialect referred to as the Broad Doric language. It is undeniably true that many of the ancient Greeks left that country to settle in Scandinavia and the British Isles. Just the languages now. Are we getting into languages? We could be. So far, okay, so that's the Zera. We've only covered the one tribe, the Dardanus. Now we're going to look at Calcol, which is also seed crops. Okay, so now he's going to settle in Attica, another part of Greece, modern Athens. And this is coming right out of Encyclopedia Britannica. Seed crops, traditionally the first king of Attica, which is now Athens. Seed crops was Calcol, and Calcol was the son of Judah.
Zera. Would be Zera?
Sons of Zerah, you're right,
Yeah.
the grandson of Judah. Okay? Just so amazing when you start searching each one and follow them through. Like I got into this belief system by tracing my family tree, believe it or not. I was doing my family tree, got as far back as the 800s AD, and knew that the rest of us come from the Celts, but didn't know nothing about the Celts. And then I found out the Celts were Israelites. And then whoa! Anyway, and then it led me into heraldry. So now, changing the charge a little bit. New dimension. Up in Dornoch was a guy from Ireland that I was teasing, remember?
Mm-hmm.
He's from Northern Ireland, the Red Hand. So, let's just read what I got here. The Danaan were not the first Hebrews in Ireland. Calcol, which we just read about, founder of the ancient Irish line of kings through his son Gothilas. Do I have to do that? Do I have to do that? No, I don't have to do that. Through his son Gothilas, remember that name, I'm coming back to it, planted a royal dynasty in Ulster. Okay? What's Ulster known for?
Terrorism.
They're hated by everybody else. Right? The Northern Ireland. They're just hated. They're just bad.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Lunatics.
Listen to who they are, though.
I have a friend right across the street here. He's been in all that Belfast, that old schmozzle.
Yeah.
He was involved in it. He's a Christian. He wanted to do the Belfast Grand here. He lost it. It didn't work. He is quite the character, and he has such a heart for that area still.
Tell him this stuff that you're.
I know, he should be here right now. I mean, he'd absolutely gobble this
The
up.
Orange Parade.
planted a royal dynasty in Ulster, as well as other royal dynasties in Europe. He and his brother Dartha, which we just covered, the founder of Troy, had both migrated from Egypt before the Exodus. They are sons of Zerah, one of the twin sons of Judah. The Hebrew name Zerah signifies to scatter. Okay, so what we didn't read was the birth of these twins. What happened?
Their namesake was
What
said.
happened? They're inside the womb.
Oh, yeah, one
One comes out the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red,
They grab this bloody hand,
Red-
Yeah.
and the, ties the thread on
Yeah.
it, pulls it back
Yeah.
in, and out comes this other guy called
Yeah.
Ferris. And she says, how did that happen? You know, how did that happen? The red hand. You see this red hand, and I couldn't find it, but I've seen it. I know it's out there. There's a red hand on the flag of Ulster with a thread on it.
Hmm.
Oh. It's not really a thread. It wasn't the umbilical cord.
So there's Jesus.
Well, okay, this happened, when did this happen? Genesis, this happened, so this happened before the Exodus. So the Exodus is 13, so Genesis before that, 15, Abraham was 28. So between 2880 and 1337, there's 1,000 years in there. So 2000 BC, okay, this takes place. Can it be an umbilical cord? Can it be a thread? Can it be nothing? Yes, because we got 3,000 years of storytelling to get it all messed up in, right? But just like the banner of each of the tribes, they kept this banner. Why did Zerah get this banner? Because they weren't in the tribes of Israel that went through the Red Sea. Remember? The Red Sea group, they got those banners about each of the tribes. Well, actually Jacob gave them that, but Moses set them up in those banners. Zerah left before that and developed his own, right?
you see the
Isn't
star
it
in the middle?
interesting?
Yeah,
The star.
Isn't it interesting? Because people say that that Star of David comes from Babylon. That can't
She
be.
put a cord.
Yes, it can.
Can it be?
Yeah.
Okay, so then so that Star of David, that must be maybe a later on banner. But
What did it say? What did Timothy say? You carried your Shamash and your Molech, your Rephidim, with you through the wanderings in the wilderness. So they had it back then. The star that they carried two things. They carried a Christmas tree and a star. We put the star at the top of the Christmas tree now. The star is the Star of David. It represents Nimrod. The Christmas tree represents Nimrod. Two different symbols, two different systems to worship.
oh, so the Star of David isn't such a good deal then, and that's why
No.
they got it there.
No, it
Because
was
they
the
were rebellious.
lampstand that was the symbol for Israel.
The lampstand.
Yeah.
If you've noticed, the other time that I've been speaking here, you have certain symbols up in front. You have a ram's horn, a menorah, then you have a fish, menorah, and star.
Yeah.
Did you notice that I moved the fish, menorah, and star to another table each time I spoke?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, now you do.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Because the star to me represents Molech.
Okay.
So this is what they did. They carried it with them in the wilderness before David was born, right? And it comes from Egypt. So that's why Zerah left Egypt and he would have that star before King David, right? Do you see what I'm saying? This star symbol is a pagan symbol that
Star
they
David.
brought with them from Egypt because that's where they all left from, right? Why, Genesis 38, and it came to be, okay, we just went through that. This is the birth of Zerah to Tamar, right? And it came to be as she drew back his hand that see, his brother came out, and she said, how did you break through? This breach be upon you, and his name is called Peretz. And Peretz I relate to breach, that's why I think of that. And afterwards the brother came out, who has a scarlet thread in his hand, so his name is called Zerah.
How would he have a scarlet thread in his hand?
She put it on his hand when he stuck it out.
Oh, okay.
Why would she do that? I don't
First
know.
time.
Why wouldn't she just grab hold of his head and pull him out? I don't know. You know?
It's supposed to come out that way.
Thor.
Well, she marked him as coming out first. That was, boom, that,
Yeah.
you're the first one out.
And then
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
He
completely
pulled his
out.
hand
But
back.
babies
And
don't
the other
come
guy
out
went
hands
for the birth.
first.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it
Well, he
chocolate?
just wanted that thread. He wanted that knowledge that he was first.
What's the symbol of?
Royalty.
Denmark.
Judah.
Scotland.
Judah.
Judah.
You're all right. Scotland, royalty, Denmark, Judah.
Yeah.
Got all
But it is,
Mhm.
right? So there it is. This is Gothelus. Remember I just mentioned Gothelus? The son of Cecrops, who is the son of, who is another name for Cadmus. Okay? We've done the Zerah line through Darius. Now we're doing the Cadmus line. Okay? I just want you to see this. It's such an amazing thing. So we got Spain. Gothelus. Historical records tell of the westward migration of the descendants of Galco along the shores of the Mediterranean Sea, establishing the Iberian Peninsula. Okay, that's the Iberian Peninsula, Spain. What does Iberia stand for? Hebrew.
Oh, man.
Hebrew.
Yeah.
Hebrew. It's the same word, pronounced differently by our slang. Iberia. Okay? Where else do we have an Iberian something?
So that's what it is.
We have Iberia called Ireland today. We have the Iberian off the coast of Newfoundland,
Yeah.
right? All from the same word, all from the same people. What's the one thing that Newfies can't do very well? They can't say H.
That's right.
H.
H. H. They can't say it.
Going to Evan.
Yes,
Evan.
they're going to heaven. Okay, so now, what was the one thing that the Ephraimites had trouble with when, in Judges, what's the name, was killing them all the Ephraimites because they couldn't say a word. They couldn't pronounce the proper way to say this one word. They couldn't say the H's. Right? Anyway, off subject here. So one settlement is now known, or is now called Zaragoza. Do you see that up there? Where's Zaragoza?
Zamora up there, I see.
I don't know where, I thought it was up over here somewhere. There it is, right there. Right where I thought it was.
Oh,
Right there.
it is.
Zaragoza. That's the city named after the father, Zara. And it's in, guess what valley it's in? This is so amazing. It's in the Ebro Valley. Isn't that neat? That valley there, you see the river going, it's called the Ebro Valley in Spain. Zaragoza is what it was originally called, meaning the stronghold of Zara. From Spain, they continued westward as far as Ireland. But they forgot to mention this here. We're going to come back. We've got to come back to this here in a few minutes. The Iberians gave their name to Ireland, calling the island Hiberni, which was later abbreviated to Ernie, and subsequently Latinized to Hibernia, a name that still adheres to Ireland to this day. So there's Gothelus, Hiberni, Ernie, Hibernia, and Ireland. Okay?
There's the Hibernia oil fields, right?
That's exactly it. That's where it comes from. Now, this is so, you still hanging in there? Because this is still great. I still got over 250 slides to go. Now I'm only like 160. The story of Gothelus of his travels is unbelievable, showing the hand of Jehovah at work as he dispersed his people Israel from Egypt. The Chronicles of Scotland by Hector Boyce, translated into Scottish? In 1531 AD, tell how Gothelus left Greece and went to Egypt to enter the service of Pharaoh. So the Israelites left Greece, or left Egypt, went to Greece, came back. So now we're getting more of the truth here. They didn't leave after the Exodus, they left before. And came back to help the Egyptian army before the Exodus. This is so, it's so amazing here in the service of Pharaoh. For as the old chronicle reveal, there was a Greek called Gothelus, son of Cecrops, Galco, of Athens, otherwise Argus, king of the Argives, who left his native country of Greece and came to Egypt with a strong company of goodly young men. At this time there reigned in Egypt Pharaoh, the scourge of the people of Israel, whose son, following in his father's iniquities, was drowned in the Red Sea. 1531, this is written. With his army. The king Pharaoh received Gothlas openly because he, Gothlas, appeared to support the Pharaoh against the Ethiopians and the people of Midian. The Pharaoh, so now we just found out the Egyptians were fighting against the Midianites. Where was Moses? He was in Midian. Right? Didn't know that till we just read this. The king Pharaoh received Gothlas and appeared before Pharaoh. The Pharaoh, with the support of Gothlas, won a fierce battle against the Ethiopians. Didn't Moses have a fierce battle against the Ethiopians? Yeah. Are we talking about the same guy? Okay, I'm speculating now. I'm not saying this is, I'm just speculating. Isn't that kind of interesting, the stories overlap?
Ethiopia, of course, is Egypt.
No, Ethiopia is Ethiopia. Moses was a general in the Pharaoh's army. And he went down and defeated the Ethiopians in a tremendous battle, using storks to eat all the snakes, because the Ethiopians expected them to come down by the sea to avoid the snakes. Instead, Moses went through the land where the snakes are, having all these storks eat the snakes before the army came through, and then surprised the Ethiopians through the back door.
So is this like this is documented
Yeah.
in history?
Yeah.
Moses'
Yeah.
time before he
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah,
Really?
it's all right there. Like, how come you guys don't know this stuff?
Who wrote this? Like, who wrote this history?
I don't know.
This particular history, that particular
Encyclopedia
history.
Britannica?
Is it Britannica or is it like, is it in the,
Is it Josephus? I don't know where I'm getting this from.
Okay.
I got so much stuff inside me, I don't know where it all comes from.
You should write a, you need to write a book.
No, I can't write a book. I wrote that book, I can't get people to read it. So like, I can't write all
Yeah,
this
but if you
stuff.
write this book, they'll read it.
No, they won't. Stephen Collins has written this, Gerard has written, they both have written about 5 or 6 books on it. You can't find them anywhere because nobody wants to know this history. You guys are eating this up and swallowing it and loving it because it's your family tree and it's our Bible and it's our history. And it relates so much truth that you never knew. That's why it's so interesting to you. But to the guy walking down the street, your friend that's from Ireland, who cares? Let's go have another beer at the pub. Right? So that's why I'm thinking, would this be good to do at a fair on, beside the Scottish heraldry guys, some of the heraldry stuff?
Yeah.
Why don't we just develop a history fair?
Well,
It'd be a lot of fun.
it could be, but
We're wondering what to do on Front Street here, because we have a lot of like
But the thing is-
hippies on Christina Street. We're a little tired of the hippie thing going on, so we kind of want to do. We're talking about it right now. What to do?
well, we'll see. You know, I'm willing to do this, but the thing is, I got to explain this, and it's taking me so many hours to do it
First
this
Friday.
way.
What about a First Friday?
And we got people walking by, just catch them 5 minutes. I got to catch them in that 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Because they're going to do other things to go ride the Ferris wheel. So I got to catch them in 5 minutes. So this is, and the thing to catch them will be the heraldry stuff. So
Well-
I was thinking about this all the way down, and I threw it out to you guys. So let's keep going.
We were at a Scottish thing in Fergus, Guelph one time.
Yep.
And there must have been 20 historical tents
Yep.
with the plaid kilt history and the.
And I went into all 20 of them.
Did you?
You must
Yeah.
I
have
would
loved
have.
it.
Because they were,
Must have loved it.
Then I go to Fergus Fair, the Highland Games, all
Yeah,
that.
how many
yeah, these
people
were the
in?
Highland Games.
Oh, there's lots.
Was there a lot?
Everyone loves the Scottish history. As long as they go back to find the clan they're from, that's as far as they want to go.
Yeah.
To find this stuff out,
Yeah.
I don't know how it would go. Anyway, let's get back to Gotham. Okay, Pharaoh in supposed to be the Gotham took the principal city called Meroe. Gotham, after the great victory, returned to Egypt and was made general lieutenant over the Pharaoh of Pharaoh's army. Soon after, because he was of the royal blood of the line of Greece, King Pharaoh gave him his daughter called Skota. So now we got 2 stories being merged together here. Okay? We got the story from Skota. When you do the chronology, this word chronology comes in, you'll find out that it doesn't work. Right? So what we have here is 2 stories. The story of Jeremiah being combined here with this, and the story of the Romans, Greeks, and Pharaoh and Moses. And you need to do the chronology, because if you do that, then you'll understand where they fit in. Okay. So let's keep going. Called Skota in marriage.
I've just thought of something. You could get a grant from the government. You know what? They got a grant from the government to build culture in the city. They're not doing it. People are complaining left, right, and center
You know
about
what, you
it.
just struck a nerve with me, because I've been writing letters to the Prime Minister of Canada about
You need to
certain
do a grant. They'll give you $200,000 as long as
I'm
you.
not looking for 200, I'm looking about 39.
No, you gotta start small. And if you get work, I
Don't
mean,
have time. Start big, go big,
Well, I'm
go
just
big or
saying-
go home.
go apply for it. But you know what you gotta do to do a grant, do a good, you have to write something spectacular. Then they'll look up and go, whoa, this guy, you gotta give them a reason why to give you a grant.
Okay, so let's just,
Don't mention it.
sorry, no, I gotta read
I'm
this, I
sorry.
gotta read this, I'm sorry. Another version of the same story goes like this. One of the most memorable chapters in the history of Celtic race deals with Niall, N-I-U-L. It's like Neil, Niall, okay? Youngest son of Phineas, Farsa, king of the Scythians. We haven't even covered the Scythians yet. The Scythians are the Israelites. One of the Scythians, Niall, was reputed to have mastered all the languages of the then known world. The fame of his learning and wisdom spread worldwide, and King Forod, a corruption of Pharaoh, the first of Pharaoh Singus of Egypt, invited him to Egypt to instruct Egyptian youth in the sciences. The king gave Niall a large fiefdom on the Red Sea and gave him also the daughter Skota in marriage. So that's from the McGorhegan family newsletter. So the McGorhegans are Scottish, so they got this corrupted. So we got some different things going on here. Now, so what have I got here? Gothel is concerned for the present, so this is after this stuff, but before the plagues are finished. Gothel is concerned by the present plague, was the terrible response of God, resolved to leave Egypt for another abode. A short time afterward, he was provisioned a ship and sailed out of the mouth of the river Nile with his wife, friends, and servants, Greeks and Egyptians, for fear of the plagues of God. After a dangerous voyage on the Mediterranean Sea, Gothel landed in a part of Spain called Lusitania. Sounds like a ship, I know. Which was afterwards called Portugal.
Sister ship.
Okay? Do you get that? Lusitania, right here, on the Iberian Peninsula. See Lusitania right there? That is Portugal. Hang on. What's it called? Say it again. Portugal. Let's see if I can help you out a little bit.
Oh, wow.
North of Gaethelus. Okay? So Gothel came up to this river Porto, and he founded the river called, the town on the Douro River up there, founded the town. But he didn't stay there long. The Port of Gothel. Port of Gael. Do you get what I'm coming to? Do you see what's happening? According to Irish and Scottish medieval tradition, Godel Glas, Latinized as Gothelas, is the creator of the Godelic languages. Remember, he could speak all the languages? The eponymous ancestor of the Gaels. What language do the Gaels speak? Gaelic. That's why I wanted that Gaelic music to start this session off. And what language do the Scottish speak? Gaelic. What language does the Welsh speak? That's my best Welsh accent, sorry. Gaelic. Are you aware that a Welshman can speak Welsh to a Hebrew or to a Jew speaking Hebrew, and there's no need for an interpreter? That's the same as you speaking English to a Newfie with a strong Newfie accent. You might need an interpreter for that. It's the same idea, right? Gothelis is where we get the Gaelic language from. And who is Gothelis? The son of Galcol. Who's Galcol? The son of Zerah. The son of... See how this is so amazing? Gothas was also known as Etites. He was also known as Mil Hispania. Mil Hispania, and that's where we get the name of Spain from. He was also known, I believe, and I couldn't have my story mixed up here, as the Milesians, because he was known as the one who fought 1,000 battles. That's where we get 1,000 being millennium or million from that word. Okay? So here's his ancestry. The king of Scythia. There's Hispania right there, coming down to the Irish kings. But we don't recognize those names up top yet, do you? I'm trying to speed this up. Too much history here. But this talks about the history when they land in Ireland. I'm going to skip that. It's fascinating. What time is it?
1:45. 1:45.
10 to 3, 4 to 3.
Yeah, I could read it. Nah, I won't. You guys got to have something to read. You got to go read this stuff. You got to go search it up. Don't just believe me. It's unbelievable. I could go on for 2 days about just Gothas alone. Unbelievable stuff. So what I'm getting now is some family trees that include Gothas in it. Okay? Just amazing. So Gothas founded the province of Galatia. Remember the Gauls? Galatia. What does Gaul mean in Hebrew? The captive ones. Who are the 10 lost tribes? The captive ones. So Gothas founds there. Where is this place called? Where am I right now?
Germany, are you in Germany?
No.
Gaul, yeah, Gaul, isn't Gaul the Germans?
Maybe I should read my notes. Gothas settlement of Spain is described next. So this is Spain somewhere. Soon afterwards, he built a town upon the river of Munde, M-U-N-D-E, then called Bacada, now Barsale, which is, I think, called Barcelona. After a major battle with the Spaniards, the Spaniards, therefore asked Gothas for a peace conference and quickly gave him part of their land in the north part of Spain, now called Galicia, because they had a prophecy that said a strange people would sometime come to dwell there. With the close of collaboration of the inhabitants, built the town of Brigance, now called Compostela. Okay? So Compostela is right here. San Diego de Compostela. You see where we're getting the names from? Ancient Israelite tribes. Following this, Gothas named all his subjects Scots. So here we are in Spain, Compostela. Gothas is calling his followers the Scottish people. The Scottish people speak Gaelic after their ancestor Gaelic. Goth. Sorry, my accents are terrible today. They were never good to start with, so it doesn't matter. He named it in subject Scots in honor of his wife, who was called Scota. And he had 2 sons. One was Eber, and the other one Hemechus. So we have, this is Ulster. This is Ireland. And in Ireland, Ulster was also called the Scots, Ulster Scots. Notice where the Scots went from Spain. Gothas, seeing the number of his people increasing in Brigance, this is northern Spain, thought it more fitting to take his people to some other place where they may live in peace. Gothas assembled all the ships he could find in a nearby port, in which he placed his sons Eber and Hemechus with sailors, warriors, and the other things necessary for the expedition. He commanded Eber as admiral to go to the island with favorable winds. They arrived 5 days later. Eber sacrificed to the honor of his god, then returned to Spain. Hemechus, who was left behind on the island by his brother, named the island Hibernia, after Iber, and that is said Ireland. And since this island was inhabited by two peoples, the Scots and the old inhabitants, the Meccas governed both these peoples in great justice. This is Northern Ireland. This is where my other ancestry comes from. No wonder nobody likes me, right?
That suits your imagination.
Ah, you should read my emails.
Well, you put some of them in your newsletter.
Eventually, the Scots in Northern Ireland moved to Scotland, in this area, right? And they call it Dalradia, and they call that Dalradia as well, right?
Sounds like Spanish, don't we?
Yeah. The Scots historically are intruders. They came from Ireland and built the kingdom of Dalradia on the land which once had been Pictish. Who are the Picts? The Picts painted themselves,
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they did.
and they
Yeah.
They were really fierce. They were fierce. They were crazy. They were naked.
They
The
were
Romans
the
were.
Indians.
The Romans were afraid of the Picts.
They were the Indians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still fight naked and they scare you, right? So they were the Picts, and the Picts were in Northern Ireland. Remember Brutus? Remember Brutus? We told you about Brutus. Guess what Brutus did? He takes all the Picts, puts them on the ship, brings them over to North America to get them out of the hair.
Wow.
Hmm.
There you
They didn't come through the Bering Sea, through an ice bridge, through Alaska. Maybe some of the Chinese did. That's why the Eskimos and Chinese have this similarity. But the North American Indians don't look like the Eskimos. Some of them were brought over by Brutus. Those are the Picts. And you should hear the stories I got about that.
go.
Okay? No, don't go down that road. Take the one you're on. In the west of Scotland, in Argyll and in the Isles. By the mid-6th century, they had a sizable kingdom lying north of the Britons in the Strathclyde and stretching up beyond the Great Glen, and they named it after the district of Ulster, Northern Ireland, from which they took their royal house. The oldest Irish chronicles reveal that Abbot Tigernach, a descendant of the Scotic kings of Ulster, led a colony of Milesian Scots, there's that word Milesian again, from Antrim, which is where my family's from, Antrim in Northern Ireland, to the northernmost parts of England. After defeating the Picts in a number of battles, they gained complete control of this area and also named it in honor of Scota, Scotland, the land of the Scots. And here we have the symbol of Zara, the symbol of Scotland. Judah. Whoops, the red hand comes out as a red lion.
No crown.
Nova Scotia,
Nova Scotia.
right? How many Nova Scotians are here?
That Nova means new, so that means
Yeah.
new era.
Yeah, just new place, like New Troy,
Yeah.
New England.
Does it count if you've been there?
Yeah, I'll give you half a point.
I've been there twice.
I started playing the fiddle so I could pick up the, and I hate playing classical music, but I tried to play. I don't play very good at all anything. My Jewish stuff is not Levitical in nature, because Levi's got all the tunes, right? So trying to play the fiddle. And trying to play Cape Breton music. It's awesome stuff. So the last major movement of Zara was to Nova Scotia. So,
I love it.
This whole story, this whole picture is so beautiful.
the whole
You want to
kingdom.
just say it really fast for Melissa, 'cause I think she missed it.
No.
I love to.
Oh, this your story?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
whole story.
Well, we haven't got the one, don't got the one up here that I want to, well, you shared the part about the Aleph Tau, right?
Yeah,
That's when you came in.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So this is a symbol for Judah. Judah has the crown. The royal line of Judah shall not, the scepter shall not depart from Judah. This is the symbol for Israel.
Look at the chain around his neck.
That's the captivity.
Crown.
Judah doesn't have a chain, wasn't in captivity, 70 years, doesn't
Is
count.
that ever something?
He's gonna cry
They have the
around
captivity.
now.
Notice that the hooves are
Split.
split. It's a clean animal. The unicorn was not a horse, it was more like an ox, with a horn coming out of his head. The royal line of David with a throne on it, and there we go. The Lion of Judah. The Lion of Judah. This is the flag of Judah today.
Red poppy, don't forget that.
Sorry?
The red poppy, don't forget that.
Well, the red poppy is a symbol for Israel, right? And it's red poppies in the royal house.
And then do all the little
And
things,
the
the
harp.
harp and the,
The three, okay, in the prophecy for Judah, Judah said a lion, a lion, a lion 3 times. That's why we got 3 lions here. The harp is a harp, this is the flag
David.
of Ireland.
Oh,
But Jeremiah came to Ireland with a harp and the stone of scone, which we talked about before you got here. And the harp was one of the things he brought. I'm thinking of having a harp made right now, made out of olive wood and mahogany. And I was thinking of putting across the top the unicorn, and on the other side of the top, a lion, and across the stem coming out would be the menorah, and the back part here would be the olive tree. Now, each of the strings here, there's 22 strings on here. Each string represents, this is the teaching, I'm just learning, and I'm about to start teaching on it.
There's
Hebrew
a
letters.
harpist in Ontario. He's internationally known. He's known all over this country and all over in Israel. He is the forerunner for the harp to come back.
Yeah, the guy I was looking at is the guy that makes it in Israel. But the harp has 22 strings. Each string represents a letter of the Hebrew alphabet.
Yeah, it has.
So if you play the Psalms and you play what the Psalms say, you read the Psalms and you play the notes of the harp, my thinking is that you would hear what David was saying in music.
Yeah.
You would get the song being played to you on the harp of music.
That's what.
I'm working on that.
Is that.
I mean,
It's already done.
it's done. I thought I just learned that.
No, I can give you that music from God, from Uri Varel.
I want to hear it.
No problem.
Because that's what I was thinking of doing. But I wanted the harp, if I'm going to have it made, it's going to be made special to represent the 12 tribes, and that's what I wanted to do. That's just my thinking on it. So this is, okay, so this is the house of Troy that we've been following so far, right? Everything's been about Troy today. Here's the coat of arms of Czech's Republic.
Whoa.
Oh, no. Dang, he's part of us. Okay? Just follow this a little bit. Here's the coat of arms of the former kingdom of Bohemia. Here's the one for Jerusalem, Spain, Norway, Netherlands, Holland. Yeah. What's Queen Beatrice?
Beatrice.
Scotland. Coat of arms for Northern Ireland. Notice the stag. What's the stag? No, Naphtali. Naphtali.
Yeah. Comes from Northern Ireland down there.
But they got David's crown on there.
Sorry?
David, the harp and the crown,
Yes. Yeah.
and the, what's that, the tav.
The hand right there.
Yeah, the top. The olive is not there. So here's the for Belgium.
What's with the hand there and the two?
That?
Yeah.
That's probably something added by the Pope. I'll have you understand. Know this, right? Understand this. I don't know what it is.
One way.
No.
No, it's a special symbol.
Scotland kept the Sabbath, kept the weekly Saturday Sabbath up until the 11th century.
Scotland did?
Scotland.
Are you
Say that
kidding?
again?
Scotland kept the Saturday Sabbath up until the 11th century. I think it was 1083 BC. Actually, we're going to get into that.
People should know that.
Ireland kept the Sabbath up until the 8th century, 800 AD.
Wow.
What happened? Catholicism got in there and changed it.
Yeah.
We're going to go get into that here in a
They
bit.
actually forced the change. They
Well,
didn't
yes.
change it.
And that was probably what Augustine, no, it was that Augustine went in there. He was the first.
No, I got it here. I just forgot. I get ahead of myself. I remember stuff.
Saint
That
Augustine, he went in there.
Here's Macedonia. Macedonia, Don, and the daughter of the Nez. Denmark,
Wow.
Triple Lions.
How about hearts?
England.
Those are goofy looking ones, you know.
Yeah, that's part of the symbolism to stick the tongue out.
They look like monkeys or something, monkey faces.
And here's Wales. So now we're going to look at some modern. So what we so far covered is just the stuff before and during the Exodus.
Yeah,
Isn't that amazing? What you can learn?
yeah.
But most people don't know where the 10 lost tribes went. So now we're going to quickly cover that, if I can do it quickly. Here's the Assyrian Empire. Okay, I've shown this to you before in other teachings, but here's the Assyrian Empire, and there's Judah. Okay, but the Assyrians come against all 10 tribes, all 12 tribes. Why did they come? Judah invited them to help fight northern Israel in a war. Judah invited the Assyrians, listen carefully what I'm saying, this is prophetic. Not my prophecy, this is biblical prophecy. Judah invited them to come and defeat the Israelites. They did. Then the Assyrians kept on coming back to take more of the Israelites. And they would have taken Judah, but they got defeated by the Babylonians. Then the Babylonians came. They did this, well, that's one time. The other time that Judah turned Israel over to, okay, now picture this, Babylon, but this is Assyria. The other time that Judah turned Israel, Joseph, over to Babylon was when they sold him into Egypt. Right, so we have a prophecy coming out here. Joseph being sold by Judah into Egypt. Israel, Joseph being sold into Assyria, Babylon again, by Judah, to help defend the war. The third time's coming. When Judah will align itself with the Babylonian beast power and turn over the United States. Yes. That's coming.
So you see, well, what I'm hearing are like the 10 Commandments and Yeshua, and he says, love your brother as yourself, because all those, they are our brothers, you know, like from centuries ago, but we're all related. I mean,
You know, we have so many civil wars between us, the Greek wars, the Trojan wars, you know, the Scottish wars, the English wars, the Irish wars are all about Israel fighting Israel,
yeah,
right?
brother and brother.
When we fight the Romans, we stop the Romans. Because the Romans, other than that one line that came in and then left, are Babylonians. Okay, so, gotta stay on track here. On what is known as the Black Obelisk, Shalmaneser III records his victory over Ahab, successor of Jehu in 841 BC. The Israelites were called, at this time, Ahabu Matsur Ileya. Okay? So when you're looking for them, because the victor records the history, look for the name Ileya. Right? Ileya. That's what they're called. You okay, Larry?
No, it's changing his batteries.
You want me to wait?
No, it's okay.
Abu Matsur Ileya. Jehu is also called the son of Omri, a former king of Israel. Assyrians would call the house of Omri Bet Kumri. So it's also known as Ileya and Bet Kumri. What do we call the Americans besides stupid? Yanks? Damn Yanks? Americans? United States. So they got different names. Canada, Canucks, Beavertail, I don't know,
Frostbacks.
Frostbacks, right? So we got these nicknames that are being applied by other countries. This is what the Assyrians are doing to Israel. Okay? Bet Kumri is the most important name here, because Ileya doesn't really travel too far. But it's there in the history books. When you're looking for Israel, those are the names you look for. Don't look for 10 lost tribes. Don't look for Israel. Look for those names. In 745, we have on record that Tiglath-Pileser carried away Asher, Issachar, and Zebulun and built cities for them called Saka, Danium, Ilisansa, Abriana, Ivasa. Okay? Those are in what today is called Iran.
Hmm.
These are Israelite names for the people Tiglath had conquered. Okay? Notice that one of the places is called Saka. Saka. This is going to become a prominent name. The other names sort of die out. Denium is one, and I should have put these up there so you can see them. Elisena and Abriana Ivasa, those names sort of die out, but the Saka name takes over. So that was 745 BC. Chronologically now, we're going to do this chronologically because it's important. 745 BC. Now it's 732 BC because the numbers descend coming forward. Another part of the nation of Israel was led away as captives. In 1 Chronicles 5:26, so the Elohim of Israel stirred up the spirit of Pul, sovereign of Asher, even the spirit of Tiglath-Pileser, sovereign of Asher, and he took the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh into exile, and brought them to Hala, Habor, and Hara, and the river of Gozan, where they are to this day. Is that fuzzy to you? Or is it just me?
There's a little bit.
Is there focus on this?
I don't think so.
Okay, I thought it was fuzzy and a lot of other things, but I thought it was just my bad eyes. Anyway, okay. So there's Haran, Gozan, and Hala. And Gozan, this is the river here. So now, here's Israel over here, and they're taken up, and this is where they're transplanted. Okay? This is Iraq and Iran today. Okay? So just keep track of this. This is all very interesting stuff. Now there's another migration or another captivity going to take place here. So this is 732 BC. 723 BC, Israel falls. The rest of the nations of Israel was led away captive. 2 Kings 17:6. In the 9th year of Hosea, the sovereign of Asher captured Shamron and exiled Israel to Asher and settled them in Hala, Habor, and the river of Gozan, which we've just read, and the cities of the Medes. So the cities of the Medes is over here. Akbatania, right? Akbatania is still there today. It's in Iran. Now I said those places were Iran up here. That's actually not true. That's Iraq. Here's Iran over here. There's the Medes, Madeh. So this is where they're taking the last bunch. So they're spread out in this area. Okay? And the prominent name so far was the Saka name. From the royal letters in 708 to 707 BC, we have Israelites being also called Gemera, and Gimera, because they were living in the land of Gamir. Gamir. These letters to the king of Assyria also identified these Israelites who had been placed there south of Lake Ermiah. So do you see where Lake Ermiah is? This is Lake Ermiah. And the Israelites are placed south of Lake Ermiah. So this is the land that is called Gamir. This is the place where the Israelites lived, called Gamir, meant that the Israelites were then called Gamarians. Gamarians. So now they changed from Israelites to Gamarians. And we get the Gamarians from the Bit Qumri. Okay? Remember Qumri? Gamarians? It's the same thing. And that then changes into, this is a hard C. Gamarians. Gamarians. Do you see how that is? From Gamaria, which is the house of Comri. You see how it just goes? Because we can't speak Assyrian, so other people call us by these different names. So Gamarians. Camara is Qumri. I just gave you a mouthful there, and you all just sort of...
That's
That's
because we
huge,
had
'cause-
too much to eat already.
Well, yeah, it's not like you're going to go out here skinny. When you go to your books and you want to look them up in the encyclopedia, do not look for the house of Israel. Look for Bet Kumri, which becomes, and then look for the Gomer, then you look for the Gomerians, then you look for the Camerans, you look for these names, and the encyclopedia is just full of information about our ancestry. And it's all right there. The trouble is, we're all so thick thinking they all have to keep the same name for 3,000 years.
Do you think they recognize the word Israel as
In
Who
Acts,
where?
in Acts 2, Peter pulls out his speaking in tongues doctrine. And he says, no, he doesn't say that. He says in Hebrew. And what did the people say? These are dedicated people who came there to what? To keep the feast of Shavuot. What does that mean? These are the people. And then it goes on to say, they heard it in their own language. So either they heard it in this dialect that they're speaking now, what Peter spoke in Hebrew, or they understood the Hebrew to be clear as a bell, which meant they could remember their Hebrew. But then it goes and tells you every one of the cities they were from. And all those cities are the cities of the Gomerians. And those are Israelites, the 10 lost tribes. That's the dedicated people who were there. Right? It says dedicated men. Because the rest of them weren't that dedicated. They didn't care no more.
So really, we're always looking for the wrong thing when we look for the 10 lost tribes.
Yes.
Always looking. We're always thinking.
Well, no, we
Just be-
replaced the 10 lost tribes with the newfound church.
Oh, yeah, well, no.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, if I'm thinking of all the little shows I've seen where people are looking for the 10 lost tribes, they go through, well, it's true, they did go through the church. But
The church says they've been
But
brought in
wasn't it-
Christ.
Wasn't it true also that around that time, if a country captured another country and took people with them to their own country, the first thing they did was change their names?
That's what the Babylonians
Yeah.
did to in Daniel's day.
Right.
That's a
Right.
different thing. What the Assyrians are doing is they're taking people away from their security. You guys are secure here in Sarnia. If I take you up to Timmins and throw you outside, you're not going to know what to do for a little bit. It's going to take you a while to get acclimatized, right?
get a flashlight.
Yeah, get a
Yeah.
flashlight, get a big swatter. But that's what they happened. So that's what the Assyrians did. And the Assyrians still do that to this day.
Okay.
They transport people to get them out of their safe zone,
Yeah.
Demoralize them.
demoralize them.
Yeah.
Right?
Take them out of their roots. Take them away from.
The Assyrians today are the German people.
Okay, during the Second World War, it's a known fact that the Germans were going to change Western Europe people to Eastern Europe people, and Eastern Europe people were going to be brought to Western Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was their intent to do it. They never carried it out.
they did it with the Jews, but they
Yeah.
haven't finished,
But
the other captives they haven't
But
done yet.
the war didn't last long.
Yeah. Okay, so you see how the name changes from Gamir to Kimerian. That's important to understand. And I hope, did you all write it down? Because you should have that in your notes. If you have nothing else, you should have this. Okay?
Do you have a folder of notes that, no?
You know what? This has taken me,
So
since you guys told me you wanted to come back here, this is all I've done.
Okay,
I've got the next teaching in 2 weeks' time
yeah.
that I had other people prepare for me, and I just looked at it here Friday night and realized they got 250 slides, and they got to throw out 150 of them because they went down a rabbit trail and went nowhere near where I want to go. So I got busy the next 2 weeks. So
Yeah,
to get this is information, it's already in books.
yeah. I have your last folder, and I have all the books.
Yeah,
I've contacted some of the writers, but they're very hard, they don't
well, I
call you
know.
back, and I find that
Well,
frustrating. I
The
kind of
reason is
lost.
they don't come back is because
No.
they're older,
Yeah,
they're tired, they're wore out,
yeah,
and they're broke because they got no support.
yeah.
So it's
But
like
if they-
me trying to answer
But if
emails.
you would tell them, like, I'm interested in their books, I would help them.
Really, all you gotta do is just order a case of their books,
Yeah.
and they'll eventually
If
get
I
it to
can get a hold of them, that is. Do you know how hard it was to get a hold? I can't even get a hold of them.
you. Yeah, you can. I've done it.
Okay, you need to. Because I've been trying to get a hold of them.
Perseverance.
I don't know.
Okay, so now, in these royal letters to the Assyrian king, we have these other names. This is 679 BC. Esarhaddon, you've heard of him, wrote prayers to the god Senezakim for advice about the Gemarians and also the Iskusa, who were attacking their forces on the borders of the Medes. Remember where the Medes are? Some of the Israelites were placed in the land of the Medes, as we showed you before. So the Iskusa are now another force who are reckoned with the Gemaras, because they're brothers, they're part of the 10 lost tribes. And the Iskusa comes from the name Issachar. And Issachar is Isaac. What did Isaac say? Let my name, or no, Jacob said, let my name, my father's name be on them. Jacob? Who is Jacob today? The Jacobites? Who are the Jacobites? Scotland. Scotland are known as Jacobites.
The orange.
Who are the Isaacs?
Isaac?
Well, we're getting that. Right now they're called Iskusa. So this is how this name develops, right? So we're in 679 BC. So we've gone from the captivity in 723 BC, and prior to that, and we're coming forward step by step, so you can see the logical, chronological order of all these things. Now, the house of Israel was already calling themselves the house of Isaac before the captivity. And now we see they're also called Iskusa, a form of that same name. So here's Amos 7, verse 9. And in the high places of Isaac, what? In the high places of Isaac. It's the high places of the 10 tribes of Israel. Shall be laid waste, and the settled part places of Israel shall be destroyed. And I shall rise with the sword against the house of Jeroboam. And now hear the word of Jehovah. You are saying, do not prophesy against Israel, and do not drop words against the house of Isaac. There's Israel being called the house of Isaac. So we now got that name, Iskusa, from the Assyrians. The Iskusa were called, forgive me here, Shuthe by the Greeks, and Sake or Saka by the Persians. Why would the Persians call them different? Because they spoke different languages. Okay, what's the French word for duck? I don't know. I just made that up.
Pigeon. Pig.
Canard. Canard, c'est ça.
Oh, okay.
Yes, canard. So a canard is not a duck in English, but it is a duck if you know the languages. Iskusa is Shuthe and Sake and Saka, whether you're Greek or Persian or Assyrian. 3 different languages, 3 different names. Still with me? It gets better. Herodotus, you've already read all this, right? While I was talking? No? I better, because I got to read my notes anyway. Herodotus tells us that the Persians called the Sake Saka and Scythians. So did the ancient Greeks. Another name for them was Sake. Even the Chinese recognize this, people calling them Se. The Chinese call them Se. Chinese imperial records and even Greek history claim that Sakasene, originally Scythians, were pushed west and displaced by the Asian tribes. Who were these people that went to the east, the Sake or the Se? The White Huns. Who did I say they were? Naphtali. Right? After the reign of Sargon II in 721 to 705 BC, the name Qumri or Kormi is not mentioned by the Assyrians again. This is when Gemara and Khmer are recorded by the Assyrians as living among the Mane, a few miles from the Medes. As we see, the names Khmer, Gemara, and Khmer are corruptions of Qumri or Komri due to the Assyrian language, and these are all names that the Israelites, that the Assyrians took into captivity. The Iskusa, Sake, and Sakai, Scythians, are derived from Isaaca, or the house of Isaac. Same people, different ways of following the name out. Okay?
think that's from Stephen's poems.
Could be. I use both him and
Yeah.
Yah-Tube in some of this research, and the encyclopedia for lots of stuff.
Is the encyclopedia online? Reverse hand
Yeah, you can purchase it.
There's some parts of it, yes.
online? Or can you just buy it, like,
You have to still buy it.
You still buy it.
like what, do they come in CDs?
Yeah, they've gone digital, you can't buy the books anymore.
Yeah, they're digital though.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
I'd like to get a book.
Oh, they can't, they've stopped just in the last few months. No more books.
No more books, eh?
The name Gamaran is translated into Cimmerian, which we now say is Cimmerian. Not Sumerian, but Cimmerian. It's a soft C. The Assyrians at the time of Esarhaddon recorded campaign against a people they called the Akkadian, the Eskusha, or Ishhusa. Okay? Same group of people, different names. It was recorded by the Assyrians in the second year of Esarhaddon, 979 BC, that the Gemara had risen in rebellion and the Assyrian army pursued and defeated them in the upper Euphrates district. But a large number of Israelites, Gemara, escaped to the shores of the Black Sea. Now we're going to get a different understanding of who they are. Where after 600 BC, the Lydian king, remember we already talked about the Lydian line? Lydia? From, who's Lydia from? Zerah, the line of Zerah? The Lydian king Alyattes drove them out of Asia Minor. By this time the Greeks called these Gemarian Kimorioi, translated into English as Cimmerians. See that?
Yeah, I just wanted to see the harsh K. Yeah.
Now, the single greatest proof that the Saka, Iskusa, Gamaras, Cimmerians, and whatever other spelling of the name that was used are all the same people comes from the Behistun rock in Iran. Everyone who knows about the Bible knows about King Darius, who ascended to the Persian throne in 521 BC. 200 years after the 10 northern and most of the rest of the tribes of Israel had been taken into captivity. In Daniel 5:30, Darius the Mede was the king who took over after Belshazzar, the Chaldean king who was slain. Darius is the king who put Daniel in the lion's den in Daniel chapter 6. But that's about all the Bible students know about King Darius. What you probably don't know is that during the first 6 years of the reign of King Darius, his army had put down rebellions in various parts of the empire. This included portions of the Scythians, which we now know were the 10 tribes of Israel. Darius recorded taking some Saka prisoners. This record is inscribed in a stone face that forms an important Israelite Scythian archaeological link that no one can deny. And because of this location, no one can destroy it, because it's in Iran. There it is there. So the inscriptions are in 3 languages: Babylonian, Akkadian, Elamite, which is also known as Susian, and Persian. They are chiefly in the cuneiform or wedge-like characters. A young English officer in the Persian army, Henry C. Rawlinson, is given credit for successfully deciphering the old Persian signs. Each language records the exact same event. The inscription is like the Rosetta Stone of Egypt hieroglyphs. One of the first language ever was deciphered, and the rest came after. The dominant feature of the Behistun rock inscription is King Darius in royal attire and surrounded by captives. So here's King Darius, here's his royal entourage, and these are all captives.
What's the rock's name again?
The Behistun.
It's
Behistun.
like this tomb?
S-U or S-O-N.
Okay, it's tomb.
Who's so tall?
Pardon me?
Who's so tall?
Who, the guy at the end?
No, the.
Oh, in these type of carvings, the mighty great guy is made to be bigger than the guys that you've captured, right? They're all the same size in real life, but because I'm greater than you, I'm greater than my people, I'm the king, I'm bigger. That's the way they do it. It's like a hieroglyph thing, so you know who's who. The inscription include a list of 23 nations over whom Darius ruled, and named among these are the Saka. In both the Persian and Elamite versions, the original word is Saka, but in Babylonian version, the same people are called Gimri. This is indisputable proof that the Assyrians and the Babylonians called the Israelites exiles Gimri,
So where's
regardless of where they lived.
I wonder if that's where Gematria comes from, the word Gematria?
No, that's something else.
Who's the guy on the end with the hat?
That's the Gemirs.
Oh.
Where do we get, come on, that's a Canadian guy. He's wearing a toque. Where did we get that from?
That's
Boy, there's an
No,
insult.
but it is. He's wearing a toque. That's a mitra toque. Mitra has a long toque like that, right?
And who's the guy the king's got his foot on?
That's just like,
Yeah,
yeah, it is a person. You're right, I didn't
I
notice
think
that.
that's the leader of the captive.
He's got some,
Yeah.
that's what he's got
Probably.
captive.
He's
yeah.
begging for his life.
He looks bigger than the.
Well, no, it's just the king shows by that action, he's
Yeah.
defeated their leader.
Yeah.
And that's what he's showing.
So what you're seeing here, this is proof of where the Israelites were called Gomer and also Iskusa. And this stone is priceless in understanding this information.
Do you understand, do you understand the symbol above it?
Yes? Oh, yes. Hi, Natalie.
Hey,
Sorry.
So, yeah, that symbol is still dominant today. And if we follow that, it's going to scare you. We're not going to do that today.
okay.
So,
There's the guy with the toque again.
Parthia. So here's some more proof, just in case you still need it, that the Saka were a branch of the Gemari, and therefore the original tribes of Israel is provided by another trilingual transcription found in the tomb of Darius in southwestern Persia. This tomb is cut into the face of a cliff in the valley of Nakish-Rustam, near the ancient city of Persepolis. Again, the inscription includes a list of the nations over which Darius ruled. This time the list 3 separate groups of Sakai. King Darius says, by the favor of Hahu Mazda, these are the countries which I seized outside of Persia. I ruled over them, they bore tribute to me and did what was said to them by me. They held my law firmly. Media, Elam, Parthia. Parthia is an Israelite empire. Aria, Bactria, Sogdia, Cordasnia, Drangiana, Aracosia, Sataglida, Gandharda, India, the Hamoa drinking Scythians, the Amerindian Saka, so there's another group, the Scythian Saka with pointed caps, Babylonia, Assyria, Arabia, Egypt, Armenia, Cappadocia, Lydia, and the Greeks, and the Scythian Saka across the sea. Thrace, the sun hat wearing Greeks. So we see what I got this from only recognized 2. I've just recognized 4. Okay, so the Heoma drinking Scythians. I'm not sure what the Heoma is, if it's a booze or something. There's the Amerindian Saka, the Scythians called Saka themselves, with pointed caps. What's the other one here? Lydia, the Greeks, the Scythian Saka across the sea, which is a Black Sea, and Thrace, the sun hat wearing Greeks. Okay, so he goes on to list others. So there's 5 or 6 different groups of Scythians that we just read about. And the guy I'm quoting here only picked up on 2. Interesting. So these are different names that we're following, right? Did you catch it?
American.
American?
American?
Very version of American?
We just read that,
Oh, yeah.
right? Now I'm pointing it out to you. We just read it.
Yeah.
The Hamoian drinking Scythians and the Amerindian Saka. The Amerindian is that Saka there. The American. And the Americans are named after a son of Manasseh, who is called Merkian. And when you have one Merkin, you have an Merkin. Right?
That was in
And
Numbers
Americans.
9 and 10.
So this is what we're learning here. This is where we get the names from. And the names are transponded upon the children to other generations. That's why we got the Americans as being the Americans. It comes from here. Well, there it is. I'm telling you the story now. Manasseh, he had a son called Makir. Makir is also called Murakanda. I wonder we got Canada from that. I never thought of that before. Maruka, Amarigioi, the Americans. Mercia, known on the continent as Meringas, the land of Makir, the land of America. This is ancient Middle Eastern teaching here.
I think Canada came from the native people that they called it Canada because they referred to it as Turtle Island.
Okay.
I read that one.
Yeah, I read that too.
Well, the word Canada actually means.
What I'm pursuing now is the American thing. That's what I'm pursuing here. I'm trying to show you this name has already existed long before there was a North America. Long before there was a Columbus.
He was Jewish.
So with Israel gone, all that was left after 723 BC was the southern kingdom of Judah. So we got 3 waves that took away the Israelites. Now, Nebuchadnezzar was the king of the most powerful nation on earth at his time. His father Nabopolassar had founded the Babylonian Empire after defeating the Assyrians and developing the commerce and massive building program. He extended the empire as far as the Mediterranean Sea. The Jewish captives were settled along the Kibar River and treated as colonists. They were given freedom to lead normal lives as long as they remained politically loyal to the Babylonian government. Daniel became a government official. Many became quite wealthy in Babylon and their families remained there after the 70 years of captivity were over. The first group of captives to be led away to Babylon included the prophet Daniel in 605 BC. And then a few years later, in 597 BC, 10,000 captives, including the prophet Ezekiel, followed. Finally, when the city of Jerusalem fell in 586 BC, the final captives were led away to the banks of the river Chebar in Babylon. Okay? So by the river of Babylon, we sing that song? So the important lesson from all this is the captivity was the purging of idolatry from the hearts of the gods of the Jewish people. They never forgot this penalty of turning from Yahweh and following other gods. They were more faithful to Him in Babylon than in Jerusalem. That's why they kept the Sabbath. That's why they began to keep the holy day, because before that they didn't. Israel, when they left, never repented. Judah did. Judah got some things mixed up, but they got most of it close, if not right. So here's the captivity lines again. Israel went up there to the north. Judah was taken back down here to Babylon, and then they came back. Again, chronologically, we've now shown you the names, how the names have changed. That's what we're following, is the name changes. What have I got here? Okay, so we got 2 separate groups of people, and we're showing where they've gone and settlements of the exiles in the 3rd captivity. Chaldea is Babylon. Chaldeans today are known as Italians. Berosus brought the Chaldean religion from Chaldea, from Babylon, to Rome. The Assyrians today were defeated by the Babylonians, and they immigrated and got mixed up with the Israelites, and they immigrated with them as they immigrated and were mixed in with them. And they're in the north. Okay? I just like that map. I don't know why I put it up there. But here's where these countries are today. So here's the rivers where the Assyrians took them in Iraq, right here, below Lake Ermia, remember? And the Babylonians took the Jews over here down to here, and also over here, the Medes brought the 3rd wave of Israelites over here. Naphtali developed from here and moved out here, and went up into here, northern India. Remember I told you about that? The three caste system developed from Naphtali. Something that this map doesn't show you, what I'm going to show you now is the topographical map. This map here that I'm about to show you is right here. This is the area I'm going to show you now, between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. Oops. So, there's Russia in the north, here's Georgia, Turkey, Armenia, and down here is Iran. This is the Caspian Mountains, or the Caucasus Mountains. The reason I wanted to show you this is because there's a pass in here, and it's called the Dardanelles Pass, or I forget the name of the pass. There's a pass in here, and the Israelites migrated to that pass when the Persians were attacking them. So we got the Assyrian captivity, the Babylonian defeating the Assyrians, now the Persians are coming up. And the Persians are picking off the royalty. They want to get rid of the leadership. So they're destroying it. So they're starting to flee, but they got no place to flee because you only got this little wee thing here. Some of them go that way, some of them go along the Black Sea in the south, the Cimmerians. The Cimmerians are also in the north. But a bunch of them migrate through this mountain pass here, and I can't remember the name of it. Arbel Pass, Ardell Pass. The point being is, we get our name of Caucasians from this mountain range, where we lived. Our ancestors were called Caucasian because they lived at this mountain called Caucasus. And they went through this. And the great thing was, this river was flooding. And the river stopped, and the people went across this river on dry ground. Sound familiar? There's the Exodus, there's the Jordan, and now there's this one. How come that was not in the Bible? Because we don't want people to know that Caucasians are the 10 lost tribes of Israel. But that's what it is. So they go up here, and they start going up this way, and they become the great Scythian nation up here in the southern steppes of Russia. When Nebuchadnezzar was attacking Jerusalem and taking the southern tribes of Judah and Benjamin, known as the house of Judah, into Babylon exile 604-586 BC, the western branch of the northern 10 tribes, known as the Cimmerians, were migrating up what is now called the river Danube. They arrived near its source in southern Germany around 600 to 500 BC, where they became known as the Celts, or the Gauls. So that tribe of Cimmerians came around the Black Sea. They found the river here, Danube, and followed it up here to its source. And they're called Celts now, and Gauls.
You said it was Celtic. No, what was the other one in Spain? What was the word for this?
Gaul.
They're Gaul too.
Yes.
Why the two names? What's the name mean?
It's the same language.
Yeah.
Gaul.
Yeah.
Remember that I said Gallus was a great general in the Scythian army?
Yeah.
The Scythians are also these Cimmerians up here.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like earlier in history, when you were going back earlier in your presentation, you mentioned in Spain the Gauls,
Yeah.
Captive ones.
the captive ones. So you've got two names here, but two different dispensations.
That's right.
But the same from the same tribes.
Well, I'm about to point out to you that Gaul was
Yeah.
a great general in the Scythian army.
Okay.
What did I just say? You just missed it. You're catching on to something else, but you just missed what I just said. Because what I just said is your point exactly.
Yeah.
When did the Scythians become a great nation? After 723 BC, when they went into captivity. So this Gallus,
Yeah.
could not be a general in the Scythian army because the Scythians didn't even exist then.
Yeah.
He was a general back at the time of Moses, 1300 BC, right? 600, 700 years difference.
Yeah.
It's myth,
So there's
and
no-
stories
you
being
can't-
overlapped and mixed in together is what it is.
So you just have to be.
You have to be able
You
to
have to
sift through it.
clarify. You have to clarify the name, the dispensation.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, right? So now you're catching on. Different stories get blended together and put in together when they
There's
used to be
confusion. That's
separate.
why people get confused.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Scythians started in 723. Yet Gallus was said to be a general of the Scythians. What did they say? He's of the same stock. He looks like them, he talks like them, he sounds like them, he has the same understanding. It's Israelites that he's talking about, not Scythians, because they haven't come into existence yet. Same with the Gauls, they didn't come into existence yet until after the captivity. So he's not, but he's got a name called Gull, which is where the version comes from. So I'm quoting sources out of the encyclopedia that are saying this, and now you're catching on to the truth, because now you're seeing the whole thing together.
There's two different people groups here.
Two different groups, same people.
But the same people, which
Two
I think is
different times.
fascinating. It's fascinating. Actually, that's probably done on purpose by that way. I wouldn't be surprised. For some, to bring a diversion,
Maybe.
to bring a diversion, like a, what's the word I'm using? Diverse, right? To bring together.
I don't know.
Yeah, like a cross.
If I'm walking around the room,
a
my
crossroad.
brain's about as fried as yours.
Like a crossroad, right? A cross section, a crossroads.
Dichotomy?
Yeah, no, diversion. Like
Okay.
yeah.
There they come up the Danube River, okay? There's also the Dniester over here somewhere that goes up through the Ukraine. What did I tell you about Dan? Dan sailed up these seas. Remember, here's the Aegean Sea, here's the Black Sea. This is Greece. This is the Dardanelles, right?
Yeah, that's where it's located.
Right? So they come up to the Black Sea, Dnieper. Dan used to go up there. In fact, there used to be a legend that used to sail the ships up here all the way across here because that lowland went right through. It was a sea all the way through at one time.